Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. How's it going? Good morning. Good morning. All right, we have an opening here in 5 minutes. I was watching this fair value gap right here. I think we have some sell side liquidity, but let's jump into it. How's it going, everybody? We got Max, John, Chris, Greasy, Peter, Andrew, Benton. Good morning, everybody. Shadow. We got it. We have the other John. I am Wally. Hey, good morning, y'all. How's it going? How's it going? All right, we have. So I think this is going to push down. We have some nice minor sell side liquidity down here. So we'll see what's going to happen. But let's start at the daily chart. All right, let's look what we have going on. All right, we have this fair value gap here. Okay. So I'm watching this. We've already dipped into it here. But now we have this big drop into it again. Closed a little bit below the midpoint there. Reached all the way down. And then we do have this one here lower as well. Okay, so we have to know that. But up here, we have a little volume imbalance right there. So we have to know that, okay, because that's a potential. But if you look up here, I mean, we have a ton of smoothness on that buy side up there. All right, so going down a time frame here to the 4 hour, we have this huge 4 hour fair value gap here where we drop down, okay, displace lower into that fair value gap. Now we're kind of recovering. We did have some 8:30 a.m. news this morning. So we had that, and we do have some low impact Fed speakers talking this morning as well. But then we might be creating another fair value gap back up. So we'll see. We're at a moment now to see if we're going to be bearish or bullish here. 1 hour, same thing, pretty much just drop down and then doing a little bit of a recovery there. Now let's go to the 15-minute because here's where everything happens. Okay, last week, Friday, overnight Thursday into Friday, we had this huge new day opening gap here. So we still never went back up into that. We have some clean buy side liquidity up there. So I am fully expecting price to get back up in there at some point. And I mean, to me, it's no brainer it's going to get up there. Just when, that's the question. All right, now if I take this dealing range here from this high to where we drop down, we have the midpoint right here. We're back up in a premium, so I do expect that we are going to come down, back down into a discount before heading up, back up in a premium, and I'll show you why. So if I zoom in here to the 15-minute chart, we have all these little fair value gaps in here, so I'm really not concerned with that. But right here, you have relative equal lows, and it shows up more on the 5-minute chart, right here and right here. And that's inside the London range. So if we're going to be bullish, we should see some type of drop at the open. And it could go back into that London range, which this would be right back barely into that London range. And I don't think we go lower than that. But we'll see. We'll see. And, we do have this 15-minute fair value gap that we're bouncing off of right there. Sorry. So we'll see if this holds this 15-minute fair value gap or if we get a push down before going higher. But I think we're going to go higher overall. I do think that. So if we go to the 5-minute, let me show you those relative equal lows. So if you zoom in here, basically this low all the way up to where we are now, you can see this internal range liquidity right here with these relative equal lows. Now if you hover over it, this low is at 25,324. This low is at 25,324. So they're not relative equal lows, they're equal lows. So we'll see. And if I measure this range, let's see where the midpoint is. So I'll take this high, take this low, midpoint right here, just under those relative equal, or those equal lows at 317. Okay, so I bet you if I pull it up there, see, we're going to have that drop. So we'll see. I bet we're going to take that first before we head up. So that's what I'm looking for. Now, you don't want to be too eager. Now, we might have a breaker inversion here. Okay, so the market's open now. So I'm watching. Oh, you know what? And I bet you this is not a real gap right there. Let me refresh real quick. It's because the market opened when I flipped. Oh, maybe it is. Okay, yeah, it is. So we have this imbalance right here and fair value gap right here. I want to see this become an inversion. And see if we head down to this minor sell side at 324. And then we'll have a high, low, higher high, and a low. So that's a breaker, and this would be what I call my golden inversion here. Not my, but the golden inversion, right? Where you have a high, low, higher high, lower low. So it's a breaker. The inversion inside that breaker, that's going to be the golden one to continue down if that happens, if we get it. Now, remember, we still have this 15-minute fair value gap right here kind of holding price. So we'll see if that's all it needs to go into here. You know, we have a little bit of sell side liquidity right here that formed, but I think we head down before, and then we go up. Shadow, you're getting deleted by Nightbot there. Yeah. All right, let's see if we have a opening range. Ooh, we got a big opening range gap here. So let's mark that out. We have the open, close, opening range gap. Oops. Wrong button there. Okay. Now you got to be patient though, because, you know, may not. I have a scab on my ankle and I accidentally like hit it. So just making sure I'm not bleeding on my ankle. Nightbot's on a roll today. I don't know what's going on. Nightbot's grumpy on a Monday. I'm not too concerned about this 15-minute fair value gap. I'm gonna get rid of it. Now it's shaded. The reason why my background is shaded is because we're in that big 1 hour SIBI and 4 hour SIBI. All right, now I'm waiting to see if we get this inversion, which it looks like we are. Now I do need to see either a retest of this inversion or a new fair value gap SIBI being plotted here. But if we get too close to this minor sell side liquidity, then, you know, then I won't get anything. Oh, yeah, I remember that, Chris. Dang. And if we don't get anything, if I don't get any trade or anything, this just goes straight through this sell side liquidity, that's when I'll be looking for a long, because I am bullish overall. So I could see it going a little bit lower. They hit that minor sell side. Look at that. 230, 324. What's this low? This low is exactly 324 right here. So if we pull back up and retrace some, then I'm basically going to believe we're going to go through it. There we go. We went through it. So now that we went through that sell side, and I didn't get an entry, which is fine. Now I'm just going to wait and see if that's as low as the market needs to go, or if we are going to head lower. We do have a pretty big opening range gap. Let's see. Where's 408? And the low is 216. So because it's close to 200 points, it does not need to go and fill that gap this morning. I would like to see it hit the midpoint right here, though. And if you look, that would also be the daily fair value gap, the high of it. So we'll see. Back up into this one, this fair value gap here. I'm not looking to short anymore yet. It could keep going lower, but I'm not looking to short yet. Not anymore, because it hit my minor sell side there, and I don't have a huge reason for this to keep going down. Good morning, AO. I think everybody's ready to fight the Nightbot. When I turned it on, I used its default settings, so I do need to check and see what those are. I would like to see this get inverted, though. This fair value gap right here. Hey, Chris, appreciate that. Yep. Today and tomorrow is the last day for that sell. The 90% off PAs are $65 or $125 depending on the size. So you do want to take advantage of that. The 25, 50K, and 100Ks are $65. The 150, 250, and 300Ks are $125 for the PA fee. But 90% off. And they're all marked down 90% as well. So it's like they're marked down and then 90% off that marked down price. It's like $18 for an eval. Today and tomorrow. All right, let's see what happens here. If we do get this inversion, like I said, I think we're going to go much higher today. Or I don't know if it's going to be today, but this week anyways. I have a buy side liquidity up here at 632.25. Then that imbalance and everything is back up there in the 700s. We'll see what happens. But this week is also, I think it's, what is it, CPI week? Let me see. I think it's CPI week. So you got to be careful too as we get closer to that. Let's see, this week. Yeah. The 18th, Thursday, CPI. So that means Wednesday I will not be trading. So today we do have a lot of news tomorrow. So tomorrow should be good. And then Wednesday I don't trade the day before CPI. Then Thursday will be fine. Yeah, who doesn't love a good 90% sell? All right, so we did roll over. We are in the lower portion of that opening range gap. We're hitting now this 15-minute BISI. See, that's why, like right now, it's hard for me to short because we're going right into. Here, let me go to the 15-minute chart. Especially because I'm overall more bullish. So just because we have a lot of buy side doesn't mean it's going to happen. Like at some point, if it keeps dropping and we don't go back up to those areas to the long side, then I have to shift my thinking, right? But for now, so like you see how we have this 15-minute BISI, we have this 15-minute BISI right here. Then this is going to be, you know, an order block probably. We'll see. A bullish order block. So I'm not not convinced right now. But at some point, if it keeps going lower, at some point I'll have to get convinced. See, let me zoom out. This is why. We have this new day opening gap we never touched. Buy side clean, obvious buy side liquidity. But like I said, though, if we're going to continue higher, I want to see a drop into that minor sell side back into the discount of this dealing range right here. Right here. And then I want to see it go up from there. So basically, this dealing range here, here's the midpoint right there. So everything below it is a discount. Everything above it is the premium. So since we opened up, we were in the premium, and we had some minor sell side here, I wanted to see it dip back into the discount and then ultimately continue up. Doesn't mean it'll happen, but that's what I want, or what I'm anticipating. Okay. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Now this fair value gap we have right here with a little bitty imbalance in there. This potentially, if we do get a long, we'll have another opportunity to have a breaker with inversion if this one becomes an inversion. So we have a low, high, lower low, and if we make a higher high there, this will be my golden inversion I'd be looking for it to go long from. That's only if we get an inversion. But let's see what happens here. Still early. It's only 9:42. Yeah, we got a nice little cold front. 30 degrees over here where I'm at. But in 2 days, it's going to be back up to almost 80 degrees. Yeah, my sinuses and all that loves that weather. Hey, Kid Poker, good morning. So I apologize if, well, I won't be trading Wednesday, but come Thursday, if I'm like all congested and having to clear my throat, I'm going to try not to be too loud on the microphone. Yeah, I've 31. Yeah, it's going to get warmer. Rain for 2 weeks? Dang. Oh, did Nightbot put you on timeout, Chris? I mean, Shadow? Hey, we might keep going down. Let's see. Let's see. Not convinced, though. Still not convinced yet. I think after, if we make our way past this 15-minute fair value gap and keep going down, then at that point I'll probably have to think we're just going to be bearish. We have that lower fair value gap. Let's see, where is it? Here, let me go to the daily chart real quick. Yeah, because here's the one. I know it's a little bit messy, but okay. So we're still in the upper, that higher fair value gap, which is right here. Okay. But the other one, if we get past this one, is going to be down here, a little bit lower. So that's what I was looking to see if we were down there yet, which we're not. That is going to be about, what's the low of this candle? 061.25. So If we just keep going down, then I think we'd go to 061.25. That's if we keep going down. If we can clear, I hate when I accidentally grab a. If we can clear this area, this 260, 250 area, then I think we're going to that 061, which is right here. 061. We'll see. So now we're in that area here. Let's see if we clear it or if we're going to make our low of the day right here. Hit the midnight opening price. And these were, I mean, if you thought it was going short, there was a lot of shorting opportunities. I just wasn't convinced of it going lower yet. $132 has relative equal lows. On what chart? I see a single low at 132. Right here. This low is, where are you? 132.50. Just a single low right there. To the left, this one is higher at 135.50. So it's not relative equal lows. All right, now, as y'all know, as I've said, if you haven't heard before, on a day like this, where like I'm expecting it to go lower at some point, and then I really was anticipating it going higher. It doesn't mean, like I said, I have reasons, stronger reasons to go higher, but it doesn't mean it needs to do that today, right? Like it doesn't mean it needs to get up to that area there, especially when we're way down here. So because of that, now what I have to do is wait to see if we get a turnaround, or basically the biggest thing I'm going to watch now is this 15-minute chart. At 10 a.m., I want to see if we get this SIBI right there. And if we do, then I wait for price to go back in it, and I look for either a short, or if it just goes straight up through it and creates an inversion, then, then I know we're done going short. So that's going to be telling here in the next 11 minutes. And I'm not going, I would go long if I get something very obvious, but now I got to be very careful. And I'm watching this fair value gap right here to see if we get an inversion. The midpoint of this 15-minute fair value gap is holding up nicely at the moment. Kind of where I'm anticipating the lowest we should be going. And we're in that 15-minute order block that I mentioned earlier too. So this is a pivotal, I can't say it, pivotal area where this is going to tell us if we're going to be bullish or bearish on the day, in my opinion. Pivotal. All right, let me get rid of this 15-minute fair value gap. I'm going to get rid of this whole 1 hour BISI there. All right, so we got the inversion. Now, We closed above this little volume imbalance as well. So let's see what we want to do here. Let's see if this inversion is going to hold. If we go back into this inversion, I'll drop down to my 15-second chart and see if I get an entry for a long or not. All right, we hit that inversion. Let's see if I get a confirmation here. Nah, that inversion is reclaimed already. So nope. I'll wait for a fair value gap if one presents itself, because you see that got reclaimed like really quick. So let's see if we keep going down or not. So at this point, I'm gonna watch and see if we get a failure swing in here. And this potentially could be a little rejection block. Unless we just go straight through it, then we are going to keep going down. $9.51 now. Yeah, because if we get displacement lower now, then I think I'd be looking for a short. And London low would be there. London low, the opening range gap low. See, and this is now why I'm open to shifting my bias. 50. It's not going to be a really big trade. 12.15. Oh, we have the new week opening gap down here as well. Ooh, look at that volume imbalance. Potentially, if this closes down. But I got to be ready, though, because if this comes up and leaves a fair value gap, I'm most likely going to short that. But I need my confirmation still. Get rid of this. Are we going to rebalance? We might do an immediate rebalance right here. How much time? We have 22 seconds. Let's see. We left that fair value gap there. All right, let's see. Are we going to get a short, or are we going to what are we going to do here? Confirmation would be under that. I'd have a relative small stop because I just put it right up here at this little swing high. 49 entry, roughly 66. Target, new week opening gap low at 203 is what I'm looking at here. Let's see if we can keep this momentum going. Looks like we are going to get it. Oh, I did not get an entry yet. So close. I need the candle to go below that little change and save delivery candle right there, that little down candle. Which it technically did. No, it kind of like made an equal low right there. Let's see. This low is 240, and this low is 240.25. Yeah, it did make a one tick lower low, but I did not get in. Let's see. All right, I am in this short now. My stop's going to be right up here, 67. Let's see if it's ready to go down to this new week opening gap. I'm going to 204 as a target. And that's an old new week opening gap there. Then we have our new week opening gap. Opening range gap low. So I'm aiming for 204, that new week opening gap low. Once it hits the opening range gap low, I'm probably going to move to break even just in case. Hit the London low. Let's see if we want to keep on going. Make sure all my, I'm in all my accounts here. We'll see if we get another Sibby here. That'd be nice. There's the midpoint of the daily fair value gap right there. Yeah, like I say, once we hit this opening range gap low, I'm going to go to break even. Which is at 216.50 roughly. Because what it could do is hit this area and kind of bounce up, so I don't want to get stopped out. All right, I'm going to break even now just because I don't want it to only go to that, close that new week opening gap and come all the way back on me and lose. So now I'm at even. I can't lose. If I get knocked out, I get knocked out. Part of the game for me. We do have a fair value gap right here, so it could, but we also have this volume balance. So I don't want to see it go higher than right here with this volume balance. See how that reaction right off that opening up? Yep, got me. And it might keep going, but I'm fine with that. Actually, looks like I have one account still open there. Okay, it's closed. Oh, where's my P&L? Yeah, see, I'm pretty sure it's going to keep going. And actually, what I could do is look for another. Oh, this is a suspension block. Look at that. Suspension block. Volume balance, volume balance. I did not even notice that. I did not even notice that. Could potentially get another entry right here. I'm going to monitor this. See what happens in this suspension block. I don't know why my P&L is not showing up there. I probably have it. Here, let's see. Oh, that's why. I need to adjust my thing. Yeah, that new week opening gap area, I figured we could get a bounce. Oh, you know what? Here we might have another little short. I figured we could kind of bounce, but my kind of hesitation was that if we close this new week opening gap or opening range gap and then it wants to turn around, I didn't want to be a part of that. Oh man, yeah, I'm not even gonna be able to get an entry. It's gonna drop. Well, that's the So that's the hard part of why a lot of people can't do break even trades or move to break even because of that. Like I said, I've been able to lately shift my mindset of being okay with this because it's not always going to do that. It's not always going to knock me out. And a lot of times it'll just go win. But what it does do is the times that it doesn't just pull back and knock me out and it actually reverses, those days, those losing days, I've saved on them. That's why right now I'm at a almost 90% win rate, daily win rate. It's like 88.89 or something like that because I've eliminated a lot of losses. Now, I've been getting some break-even trades, and I'm okay with that. But I did not notice this suspension block, though, while I was in the trade. When I came back to the 1 minute, actually, I think it might have formed. I need to go back and watch, but it might have formed after I got knocked out. No, it formed just before. I just didn't notice it. If I would have noticed the suspension block, honestly, I probably would have put my stop back and left it in the original place just because that's a strong PD array to continue. So, but all good. Let's see if I can adjust this now to show the correct, to show my P&L. Let's see, where's the total? There we go. Thanks, Shadow. Yeah, I try. That's why, like, I love trading like this because I feel like most things have an explanation. Like I've been saying last week, you know, I like having the whys, why things happen. I just feel more comfortable that way. And hey, this was just a day I wasn't fully convinced yet on it just, you know, going short. Here's a shorting opportunity. Right here was a shorting opportunity. This pullback didn't really go into much. Right here's a shorting opportunity. Right here's a shorting opportunity. Like there was a lot of today was a really nice day actually if you were taking those shorts. Unfortunately, I was not convinced of it yet. But all good. All good. That happens. But you know what's important? What's important is that P&L didn't take on a loser. And this is and this is a good day, like actually, because you get to see how I had a bias, I had an anticipation, what I was looking at, what I was reading at the moment, and sometimes it just doesn't do that, right? So you have to shift. You have to at some point shift your thinking, your mindset, your bias, whatever you want to call it, and say, you know what, today's not that day. Like I still think we're gonna get up there at some point. Like I'm very sure that, but CPI week, like things going on, might not even be this week. So you have to shift that thinking sometimes. Now, like I said, if we keep going down, I think we're going down right down here to this 061 area. 061, what's that? 061, whatever. 061.25. Like I really think that. So let's check out this fair value gap. But you got to be careful. At what point does it pull back? Because, you know, you keep shorting. Eventually, this thing's going to pull back. Not all the way, but it's going to have a pullback. Uh-oh. The stream crashed. Y'all still there? My, yeah, that's weird. My YouTube crashed. It even said if I want to provide feedback. Nice, Chris. Good job. And that's like, this inversion really doesn't mean much to me right now, because now at this point, I don't think we're going to just go up anymore. But this is where also, like, here's those 15-minute fair value gaps. In 8 minutes, we're going to potentially form another one, and we did form this one up here. So it could, at some point, decide to pull back up into one of those fair value gaps. So that's what I'm talking about right there, where you got to be careful, because it could stop and pull back and then continue if it's going to continue being bearish. So that's what you got to be careful of. All right, let's go ahead and get the Nightbot going for the drawing. 5 evals, 5 free evals. Yeah, but see, it's a love-hate relationship, because this is where you start loving the Nightbot. Go ahead and enter exclamation mark beast to be entered into the drawing. See, maybe Nightbot's testing you guys. It's like, let me go ahead and, you know, attack some people in chat, and depending on how they react, I don't know, maybe I'll pick them or not pick them. All right, those entries are rolling in. Keep them coming. Keep on going. All right, I want to see if this gets reclaimed, right? This gets reclaimed. And if we displace lower again, then I may be looking for an entry. Because at this point, like I said, I believe we're going to that 061.25. Just got to be careful of a pullback. Don't get caught up in a pullback. You could have shorted this one, but that's not between two opposing fair value gaps there. Well, inversion and suspension block. See, this is that. Hey, see, I forgot again. You know what? I need to do this. Let's go. What are we going to go with? Red? No. I need something to tell me. Let's go with. Nah. All right. I'm going to go ahead and do this. That way, when I see a suspension block, I'm going to mark it like that so I don't miss it or forget about it. Because, like, right here, this pullback, I could have looked at that again instead of waiting for more displacement to keep going. I'm so not used to seeing suspension blocks. I guess technically this pullback, it wouldn't have had a change in state of delivery yet. Oh, Nightbot's talking mess now. I might short this. I'm shorting this. Leave my stop right up here. We reclaim this, and we're going to get another fair value gap in there. And just coming off that suspension block, this is probably not very smart, though, to be honest. I think we're going to go lower. But we might get another suspension block right here. I probably should have waited for that. But oh, you know what? Let's see if it comes down. Got another suspension block. So let's see if it has what it takes to keep on going. Oh, you know what? That's way too big of a target. I'm at. See, that's why this probably wasn't very smart, to be honest. Should have waited for it to pull back in here and then continue down. Let's see. Let me go down to the 15 seconds, see if we get a change in state of delivery now. So I pretty much what's it called? Went too early on this. I should have waited. And then enter when we get a change in state of delivery down here once we went into that suspension block. That's what I should have done. And actually, I have a 40-point stop too. Yeah, this wasn't very smart. Hopefully I win, but I should have definitely waited. Oops. But all good. That's stuff I put in my journal, right? My notes. Nah, no FOMO, man. No FOMO. It's because I see the suspension block up here, and then we finally got a change in state delivery down here. But then we got this new one, and I need a new change in state delivery, and I should have waited for it. So if we get a change in state delivery here, then I'm going to move my stop right up to this 190. Or move it down to it. So right now I have a bigger, well, it's still my max. My max is 40 points, but we may have a little, the market might need a little breather here before it continues down. So we'll see. It's previous day low down here. So it's kind of what I'm targeting. Just really want to get this change in state of delivery. I can move my stop down a little bit. Come on down. There we go. Move my stop down to this swing at 190 just to reduce my risk a little bit there. case it does not want to continue. Now I'm going to go back to the 1 minute. Let's see what happens here. Once we hit the low, daily fair value gap low, I'll probably move to break even. Just because didn't love this entry. Well, now I like it off that new suspension block, but I didn't love my initial entry. Let's go, market. You can do it, NQ. Keep putting in that exclamation point, exclamation mark, and beast might get another suspension block. This is wild. If this bar closes down, we'll get another suspension block here. That's just insane. That's crazy. Come on down. Let's get that another suspension block here. That might be it. Let's see. We got another fair value gap right there. If this one gets inverted, that might be it. And it might come back up to that 15-minute fair value gap. But let's see if we can get down through previous day low first. Or Friday's low. Got 3 seconds. We'll get this little fair value gap. And that's the one I don't want to see get inverted. I want to see it go ahead and just continue down. Like I say, once we get to the low of that daily fair value gap, I'll most likely move to break even. Be careful for this to not be a little rejection block. Let's look at the 5 minute. Yeah. Come on, NQ. You can do it. At least I have this now. There's a little bit of a potential. Uh-oh. There we go. Let's see if that'll be enough to take it down, or if we invert this, then that won't be good. A little bit more, NQ, just a little bit more. Definitely not targeting that 061. Because at some point, we're going to have to pull back into those 15-minute fair value gaps. And if this keeps rejecting around here, I might go ahead and go to break even pretty soon. Because I want to see it go now. I'm going to break even just in case. Because I want to see it go ahead and go. And I might actually chase this once it breaks this fair value gap below, just so I can secure in some profit. Yeah, look at that. I might chase it with my stop, is what I'm talking about. If we can take it, if we could break it, if it comes back and knocks me out, then that's fine. Come on. See, you don't want to break it. There we go. Broke it a little bit. There we go. Oh, it's probably going to knock me out. I want to secure some profits in. There we go. I'm good. I secured some profits in. See, and this is where you have to be honest with yourself. My first trade, I'll mark that down as an A. This second trade, I'm going to mark it down as not an A. I needed to go back and determine if that's going to be like a C or a B entry, just because like the smarter thing would have been is for me to wait for that displacement. But when I said, oh, we hit that suspension block again and we came back down, when I came back to that 15-second chart and I'm like, oh, well, technically it hit it and we haven't had a change in the state of delivery yet until it comes down here. So I can get in, but that really wasn't smart. So I wouldn't say it was lucky or anything because, you know, it was still somewhat valid, but waiting for it to come down and create this little suspension block again and then getting in would have been the smarter move for sure. So Not perfect, but hey, made a little bit of money today. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Hey, but it happens. Hey, it happens. We're human, and that's when you got to be real with yourself, be real with yourself, make adjustments as far as like mental adjustments and just keep going. Yeah, Will, great one for the journal. Just take that screenshot and be like, "Yep, this is what I don't want to do." Worked out, but it's what I prefer not to do. So, all right, it is 10:20. Let's give it a couple more minutes here. We don't have that many entries. That many entries. Your odds are good for getting an eval, as long as the Nightbot likes you. All right. When this time shows 10, 22, 30, I'll start the drawing. Yeah, Max, that's not a bad idea at all to wait for the pullback. At this point, I do think we're going to head straight down through this previous day low 118.50, and then maybe we'll see our pullback. That's why I was aiming for that. Yeah, because look at this 15-minute chart. Straight down. Shoo. And remember, this week we could see a lot of manipulation. CPI Thursday. There's a lot of buy side liquidity, and reasons for it to go up. It very well could be just clearing out everything to the short side, right? Clearing out stops, everything. That way, later in the week or after CPI, it goes up there. Potentially. Don't know. We'll see. All right. About to do the drawing here. I went a little over that 30 seconds. If you're not entered, enter now, !beast in caps. Here we go. Let's start the drawing for our first winner for today's free evaluation. The Nightbot selects Tony Bell. Congratulations, Tony. All right. The number 2 winner today is going to be Arsene. Hey. Congratulations. Our number 3 winner for today is going to be Peter. Congratulations, Peter. Great. Good job. Okay, we got 2 more. Next winner is Greasy. Hey, Greasy. Congrats. And our final winner for the evaluation giveaway today is going to be Caesar. You need to do !beast. Here, I'll give you a second. I'll let you get in. Just like that, Caesar. Just like that. All right. Final drawing winner is going to be, man, look at the market. Drum roll. And Will. Congratulations, Will. See, the Nightbot does like you. Congratulations, everybody. Congratulations. All right. As always, you need to send me an email. And I will put my email address here. Hold on, let me make sure it's correct. futuressniperbeast.com. swinter@futuressniperbeast.com. Go ahead and take a picture. Take a picture. Hold on. Of your YouTube handle. That way I know it's you. Okay, it should look like this. You should be able to click your profile image and it drop down and it'll show that you're logged in and your handle there. Okay. And that way some of you have already won already, so I know your email by now, but just in case, don't want any people popping in after this stream is over and trying to claim your winnings. Man, look at the market. We hit that. Look at that. Wow, we went straight down. 061. We hit that 061. Or, yeah, 061.25. Holy moly. I didn't think we'd do that this morning. All right. Yep. Send that email and I will get you your free evaluation code, and then we will do another one tomorrow. I got to confirm I have enough coupon codes. I think so. Actually, yeah, I think so. Should be good to go. All right. Hey, congratulations. I'm going to call it a day. It was a good day. Could have been better, but some of you probably made some really nice profit today. This was a good trade. Good day. Good day. All right. That's going to be all for me. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Thanks for joining. Do me a favor, hit the like button, please, before you head out. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. As always, trade well, everybody. Take care.